This country has gotten out of control. We can't say certain things that we used to anymore, and any potential something that might look like something else triggers people now. As of this recording, it's currently February, and as we know, February is Black History Month. Oh wait, we shouldn't say that anymore. We need to say African American History Month now. Yeah, pretty soon you're not even going to be able to call somebody racist because that's going to be racist. So check this out.
Well, outrage in Roosevelt where a noose was found outside a home. But a man who lives there says it's not what you think and there's nothing racist about what's hanging outside.
As you can see, there's a noose hanging from the tree. I don't know what this is all about.
Dave Tillery of Roosevelt says he couldn't believe his eyes when he saw a noose hanging from a tree in the backyard of a home on Nassau Road in Roosevelt.
I find that kind of offensive. If not, very offensive.
Tillery says to him this is a hateful and racist object that should be taken down.
What a frightful tingle to my chest. You know, I said to myself, you know, this here, I would hate for my children to see it.
The landlord wasn't available, but one of the tenants who goes by Larry says the rope was being used for repairing cars and lawnmowers.
You want to know why it's hanging from the tree? It's to pull engines from cars. Okay, no other reason than that.
He says it's been there for more than 40 years.
It's not a noose. It's a cable with a loop on it to pull engines out of cars.
Is it active now?
No, not right now.
So how can we take it down?
Well, I'll talk to the owner of the house.
Dave Tillery says he wants an apology and he wants the noose removed, especially after an incident last week at Roosevelt Middle School where a photo of a noose surfaced on a teacher's desk.
Now, as you already know, it's a sensitive issue here in the town of Roosevelt to have a noose hanging from a tree simply because of what happened in the junior high school.
Considering that there's a heightened understanding of these things happening in our school district, he should come and take it.
Well, Pastor Arthur Mackey from the Mount Sinai Baptist Church is calling on the DA's office to investigate this thoroughly. And we asked the tenant at the home to reach out to the landlord for comment. So far, we have not heard back.
So the guy who said that this is offensive thought it was a noose. He didn't know what it was. So he called it a noose, and suddenly it's racist for that to be up there. That's a little strange. Now, I don't necessarily believe it's a cable for pulling engines from cars. That cable would fucking snap if it pulled an engine out of a car. Lawnmower? Maybe. Maybe. But, you know, considering the fact it's been there for 40 years and nobody ever cared until now, when a week or so ago there was a picture of a noose at Roosevelt High School, and people said, oh my God, this is bad. And notice how the guy who was clearly offended from this was African American. Well, Roosevelt happens to be a predominantly African American neighborhood. Why is it racist towards them? There are white people who live in that town. Oh, I'm sorry, I must say Caucasian now. There are Caucasian people who live in that town. I don't know why, but they live there. You know, some of them have lived there since before it was that kind of neighborhood. So, I don't know, but this is getting out of hand. Okay? I don't think it's a noose, and I don't think it's for pulling engines. So I'm not sure what it is. But if it were a noose, in the 40 years, wouldn't there have been somebody hanging from the fucking thing? And the cops being called? And then a whole investigation and shit like that? No, immediately we're pointing fingers and blaming people for things that aren't their fault. Sad state of affairs, yeah? It's terrible. You can't fucking do anything anymore. Everybody's got fucking cameras everywhere. Every business has cameras everywhere. A lot of houses have security cameras now. Then again, you have a lot of dishonest people out there now. So you kind of need them in that regard for your own safety. But even so, you can't fucking do anything anymore. It's in the backyard. Now that guy who claims it's for pulling engines doesn't own the house. I think he's a tenant that lives there or something like that, you know. But, you know, and then he's going after the tenant. It's not the tenant that you go after the landlord. Why the fuck is this on your property? Don't go after the tenant. So there's all this bad blood in the neighborhood going on now. It's fucking ridiculous. People need to fucking mind their own business and just sit on their damn phone all day. Not to post pictures and shit on social media. Yeah, I know that's all you do. Is post pictures on social media and stuff. But the idea is mind your own fucking business. Okay? If it's that big of a deal, next time you see the landlord, then deal with the landlord. Or if you don't see the landlord, then kindly talk to the tenant and just inquire. Sir, do you know anything about that? No, I don't know. It was here when I moved in. Well, I'm not really sure what that is. It kind of looks like a noose. I'm sure you're not hanging anybody in the backyard. No, sir, absolutely not. Why would you even consider such a thought? Well, can I get the landlord's information? Because I want to get to the bottom of this. And then, you know, there might be, why do you want the landlord's information? The guy might be afraid he'd be kicked out of the apartment, blah, blah, blah. But even so, that would be a very nice way of approaching, instead of immediately pointing fingers and, you know, blaming people for something that isn't necessarily their fault. I don't know. I gotta go. People are contacting me. Tell me what you think of this one. Have a great one. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.